very much. And so happy to see all the other returning officers, whether they're vice chancellors, DVCs, or professors. We don't take your presence here for granted. I know that some of you traveled by air, by road, and I won't be surprised if my friend from Okeren Koko also traveled by sea. I know that place in Delta. My good fortune is that I've been associated so much with the university system. It's good to see the representatives of Usman Danfodio University, where I obtained my first degree from, and the Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, where I started teaching way back in 1986 as a graduate assistant. So someone asked me, are you a Josite? I said, Festus Okoye is a Josite. Me, I taught the Josites. So thank you very much, Vice Chancellors from different generations of our universities, from the Premier University, University of Ibadan. Vice Chancellor, thank you so much for coming. University of Lagos, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, the Fellow of the Historical Society of Nigeria. Because the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University Lokoja was president of my professional association, the Historical Society of Nigeria. And Prof, I think it's a good occasion to tell those who don't know that the Historical Society of Nigeria is the oldest professional body in the country. So first, it's not the Bar Association. So let me welcome the National Commissioners of the Independent National Electoral Commission, the collation and returning officers for the 2023 general election, other officials of the Commission, members of the INEC Press Corps. I must thank you in a very special way. I know how difficult it is to move around, but you are here on Wednesday, you are here today, and you will be with us throughout next week when we hold further engagement with stakeholders. We also don't take your roles and responsibilities for granted. So members of the INEC Press Corps, we appreciate you profoundly. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the fourth in our planned engagement with key participants in the administration of the 2023 general election. You may recall that on 4th July 2023, we met with the resident electoral commissioners. Thereafter, the resident electoral commissioners met in the various states of the Federation with our regular staff and ad hoc officials, including those who presided over the elections at polling unit level. 2 days ago, we had yet another meeting with our electoral officers and the leadership of the land and maritime workers' unions, who were engaged to provide logistic support for the movement of personnel and materials for the election. Today, we are meeting with yet another important category of election officials, and that is the collation officers. Present here today are the 37 state collation officers for the presidential election. We called you after the 25th February election, the scopes, the state collation officers for the presidential election. And many of you doubled as returning officers for the 28 governorship elections conducted in March. For legislative elections, we invited across the 6 geopolitical zones the senatorial district collation officers. Some of them actually also doubled as returning officers for senatorial elections. It is practically unmanageable to invite all the collation and returning officers for the 1,462 federal and state constituencies made up of 109 senatorial districts, 360 federal constituencies, and 993 state assembly constituencies. We therefore focused on the senatorial districts since they are bigger and cut across the other constituencies. The Commission is aware that as collation and returning officers, you worked under extremely challenging circumstances by tediously and manually completing designated forms as provided by law, and either moved them to the next level of collation or concluded the process yourselves as returning officers. So you did both. You are collation and returning officers. Many of you have also the cognate experience of this work in terms of result management, having served in similar capacities in at least 3 electoral cycles. Some of you have participated in the electoral process since 2015, and you are involved again in 2019 and 2023. It may not be as scope or returning officers, but it may be as collation officers at different levels. But some of us also have been participating since the days of FEDECO. I was a presiding officer at a polling unit way back in 1983. That was the year when votes were counted for the first time at polling unit level. In 1979, we moved the ballot boxes to the counting center. But in 1983, the Commission introduced the innovation of counting the ballot papers at polling unit level. So the Commission appreciates your commitment, dedication to duty, and sacrifice to the cause of our democracy. At the same time, issues have arisen, and some Nigerians have raised concerns about result management at various levels. While some of the issues are subject of litigation and therefore sub judice, we can nevertheless discuss them broadly and, most importantly, share experience on the way forward. It is therefore the Commission's expectation that at this meeting, we will identify areas of strength and weaknesses, as well as the necessary reforms that we need to introduce going forward. More specifically, and from your practical experience in the 2023 general election, would like to hear your perspectives on processes and procedures for the following. 1, recruitment, training, and posting of collation and returning officers. Number 2, logistics for your movement to and from your places of assignment. 3, the integrity of the collation and declaration procedure, including the application of the law, regulations, and guidelines for result management. Number 4, the role of technology in result management. Number 5, security of collation and returning officers and the collation centers. Number 6, conduct of party agents and election observers during collation. Number 7, conduct of security personnel. And 8, any other lessons that will improve the future collation and declaration of results. Consistent with the Commission's commitment, when the review engagements are exhausted, a comprehensive report will be prepared. It is therefore expected that you will share your field experiences candidly. We would like to hear from you and what can be done to improve this critical aspect of the electoral process. On this note, it is my pleasure to welcome you once again to this review meeting. I thank you so much, and God bless you all.